Thank you, and thank you who? Nobody. I didn't have to say thank you for anything, right? I mean, we're here in Entrepreneurs and Fuego. This shit runs like this. I mean, we have no rhyme or reason, man. We just go. Entrepreneurs and Fuego, where we're documenting your journey one digital footprint at a time. And I have a little cheat sheet right there that says documenting your journey one digital footprint at a time. And I'm trying to remember and just got to memorize it. And I can never get it right, man. Scott, my man. How you
Good
doing,
to see you.
Yes,
Scott
McLane with Impact Financial Consulting.
Yeah, financial fundamentals. We're a financial coaching and training company. And so we help empower Arizona residents with financial literacy, how to accumulate wealth over the course of their lifetime rather than just live paycheck to paycheck.
Do you find that it's easier to accumulate wealth, and actually, easier to accumulate wealth and harder to keep it?
Yeah, well, that's, I think, the same thing. What we found is it's easy to make money, but it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make.
Right.
That's the tagline of the Impact Workshop, which, by the way, is a 45-minute, mind-awakening, thought-provoking, financial thump in the head, where we go into companies and we empower the employees to think about their finances, some of the decisions they're making, what they could be doing differently, and then ultimately what the outcome of that would be for their life. And so one of the major messages in a 45-minute workshop is it's not what you're making, it's what you're doing with what you're making.
So what is different about you, though, is that you're just not talking to the owner of the company or to the person that makes it, but you're talking to everybody else. So it doesn't matter whether you're making their hourly wage or you're making, $10,000 a minute or whatever. It's everybody is important and counts in the organization.
Absolutely, and we tell the owners of the companies when we come in and do our 30-day financial fitness challenge that we want to meet with the employees from the bottom all the way to the top, or from the front line all the way to the management team, however you want to look at it.
So how do you get into this?
I've been a financial trainer. I started out with Tom Hopkins International and traveling around the country promoting his seminars, and then that led to promoting one of my other mentors, Jim Rohn and Jack Canfield, and I just had a lot of time, ran a national coaching group. And in reality, 4 years ago, I ran into my own financial illiteracy problem where it wasn't what I was making, it was what I was doing with what I was making. And making money's never been the problem, but when the money stops and your bills don't, you have a problem.
Right.
And so I ran into problems, and that's what made me realize, hey, I need to focus on finance and learn where my mistakes are. And that led me into researching it and realizing that now 44% of Arizona households are actually liquid asset poverty. They're struggling. They're 3 paychecks away from being broke and from missing bills. And when we realized it was a massive problem, we decided to launch this training program and launch a statewide campaign, in fact.
Is this a nonprofit effort or is this a for-profit effort?
We call ourselves a feel good, do good, be good, for-profit company. So we're intertwining a message and a cause, and we're fighting a cause, but at the same time employing or bringing to work a whole team of trusted resources that work with those teams that we meet inside the companies to financially empower them, shape them up, and make sure they're on track. So everybody's making a profit, but we're also fighting that cause and supporting the benefit of the employer as well.
Because it sounds to me that because of the statistics that you're reciting right now, that financial illiteracy that exists and is endemic here in Phoenix, well, throughout the United States, you would certainly benefit a lot of people by just educating somebody. Hey, look, this is what's happening in your life. This is what's going on. Maybe you should try doing something differently.
Yes, absolutely. And you can start from the home life. If there's a couple or an individual who's going through financial turmoil, meaning that they've overburdened themselves with credit, or their rent is too expensive, they bought too many cars, they've been living off their income statement and spending the money that they're making, and they're not accumulating wealth, they're going to start having stress at the home place. And that stress can turn into arguments, it can turn into bankruptcy, it can turn into even just divorce. And when turmoil is going on at the home, then in the workplace, we're finding decrease of productivity. We're finding employees thinking that their employer is not paying them enough. There is sometimes employee theft. They're looking for new opportunities. And the culture of the company is down. And it's not that they're not earning enough money. Again, it boils back to what they're doing with that money. So if we can come in, reprogram the mind, install some new habits, we can empower that individual, which ultimately empowers the company.
It occurs to me that you've done this shit so many times that the message is so crisp and right on, man. I mean, but I tell you what, just breaking people out of this cycle and of this ripple effect that you're talking about, Scott. I mean, it's so important. It sounds, the message is so, and what I mean to say is so right on, spot on.
Yes.
That it's a simple message. However, we don't, heed to it, or perhaps we ignore
Yeah,
it? Is that
yeah.
is that what happens
That's
to us?
exactly what it is. The problem really lies in where were we taught how to accumulate wealth. It didn't
Right.
happen in the
No,
school.
no,
It didn't
no,
happen in our home
no.
for most parents. Didn't teach their kids because their parents didn't teach them. It wasn't in grade school. It wasn't in high school. It's not taught in college. It's not a required course. And in fact, it's such a national epidemic that the last 2 presidents that have held office have run national commissions and have called for employers to bring financial literacy into the workplace. And so that's where we're going, to the workplace, because we can assemble, do workshops for the entire workforce, and literally empower hundreds of employees at one time, which then fuels back into their home life and helps the spouses, helps their kids, etc., because they're now getting the education they need.
So as an entrepreneur, so tell me what happened. By the way, our light went off and then it went on again. Who cares? But it's, so.
Isn't that kind of how life is, though?
That's
Sometimes
it.
the light goes off, sometimes it comes back on, sometimes it goes off.
A great analogy, my man. That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. So, all right. So take me to that moment as an entrepreneur where you said, you know what? I have to do this. I have to do this. I got to go into this particular line and to spread the word. Because you're really, education wise, you're spreading the word. You're like a, gospel, messiah, if you will, saying all this. Because it is. This kind of stuff really impacts, as you're saying, marriages, the personal life, and then therefore with a ripple effect, it impacts the employer. So take me to that moment where you said, you know what, I have to do this. Honey, we're doing this.
Yeah, I
Take
wish
me
it
to
went
that.
down like that, okay?
It didn't go that
Francisco, the moment went down at about 3 in the morning when I was financially hyperventilating, figure out how I was going to pay my bills, and how did I, living in Paradise Valley, driving a 6 Series BMW convertible, living the high life, and suddenly I don't have money to pay my bills, and ultimately I'm going to churches helping to pay my electric bill. And I'm at a point in my life when I should have massive amounts of wealth accumulated based on what I had earned over my lifetime. And I realized I didn't know finance. I didn't know what I didn't know. I was so far in the dark financially understanding it that I had to do my own studying. And I realized I needed to not just study for myself. This message needs to get out. I had been training success seminars around the country. I'd stood on stage in front of thousands of people, made $7,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month at times, ran successful national coaching businesses. But I wasn't doing the right things with the money I was making. And ultimately, when my income stopped and my bills didn't, and a few months went by, I found myself in the same situation a lot of other people are in. And that was the moment. I realized I've got to do something. I can, and I do have the ability to inspire. I do have the ability to construct workshops and break complex ideas down into simple, basic steps that people can implement immediately and make an impact in their life. But I don't have my own knowledge of this. So I need to learn it first and then go out and do that. And so I launched into training and studying myself. I spent 3.5 years to 4 years studying, getting my insurance licenses and learning about insurance, getting my investment advisory licenses, learning about that, studying multiple programs that were out there. Guys like Dave Ramsey that everybody knows and his no credit mindset, live debt free, and Robert Kiyosaki who's on the other side of the spectrum saying leverage yourself and figuring where do I fit in and where's my message and where do I want to kind of enter that marketplace and help people. And I realized it needs to be basic. It needs to be able to help a high schooler, understand basic principles that they can latch onto. It can't be complex. It needs to be simple.
So you take all these tools, you put them together, and you take all these lessons, you put them together into your own spin.
Yep.
And that's what you came up with.
Yep. And they call it financial fundamentals.
Financial fundamentals.
Games and lessons and tools and resources to help you accelerate your financial success.
Amazing. And so that is going, of course, very successfully.
Yes.
But it's still, because of that illiteracy that we have, you still need to reach as many people as possible.
Yes.
And that's always a challenge, right?
Yes. So we're going into the businesses, and we've created a for-profit model to go into businesses. We have a nonprofit side coming together so that all of the games, all of the workshops, all of the lessons and tools that we create can be handed off to our nonprofit side, and that enters into any area of nonprofit, to the underbanked, the underserved, any nonprofit organization that needs to help or empower the homeless or the underprivileged folks who don't understand, to give it to them for free. All that information is being made available. So all the research and time and effort we're doing is being handed to that side for free.
So as an entrepreneur, you've succeeded and you failed, I'm sure.
Yep. I was just saying that. You can be successful in 4 areas of your life, but if you're not managing your finances,
you're done.
Yeah,
you're done. How did you handle that failure or that stress? physically must have been, very, very demanding on you and on your family. I mean,
Yep.
how did you handle that? I mean, and this is a lesson for the people that watch us, that listen to us, that follow Entrepreneurs in Fuego. What lesson would you tell someone that is failing or has failed and finds themselves in that jam right now? What do you say to them?
I would say that it's a season of time. It's not going to last forever. Have faith. Call on your friends, call on your family, let people know the situation you're in. You will find support. You will find people that will help you. Don't think that it's the end of the world. You will come through it. That's the lesson I would say, if I had to tell anyone.
And so you come out on the other side, you come out better, leaner, you come out fresher.
A little bit wiser.
A little bit wiser, hopefully.
Unfortunately, if you're in that situation,
And so are you doing this program locally? When I say locally, here in Arizona, or you're taking this thing nationwide?
Yeah, we're doing a pilot program. In 2016, we're launching a statewide financial awareness and empowerment campaign. We're calling on businesses and challenging them to challenge their employees to 30 days of financial training. We're going to go into those companies, train those employees, and learn our business model just a little bit better, and then we're taking that nationally right after that. We'll be going state by state and employing trainers, insurance agents, and advisors in those cities to do the same thing. We're going to support with the marketing and our relationships and introduction to those businesses, but they're going to actually do the training and do the one-on-one counseling and consulting.
Is there anybody else doing this?
Not that I know of.
In the manner that you're doing it?
No, not
I know that there are pieces over here and maybe consulting here and everything else, but I haven't heard of a program such as yours.
I'm a fan of the free enterprise system. And so there is nonprofits out there, but the problem is they don't have the reach. And they're waiting for people to come to them. We're reaching out into the community. We're employing people. We're putting licensed professionals to work.
But actually go into the business.
Yes.
And telling the business owner, hey, look, I can help your productivity. I can make you more money.
Yes.
If your employees only knew what they could do with their money or how to handle their finances.
My business philosophy is when the employees are better, the business gets better.
Well, absolutely.
And so if you empower the employees, you give them hope, you give them vision, you help them understand what they can do with the money they're making, they're feeling more enriched, their home life is empowered, productivity goes up, turnover goes down, the morale of the business is up, people aren't leaving because they feel that you're not supporting them. Another thing, advantage for the business owner, is we can give them an overall snapshot of the wellness of their company, the financial wellness. Because part of our survey, our program, is we do an impact workshop. That's what this workshop is right here, impact.
Yep.
That's the first kind of promotional workshop. It's a 45-minute.
Let's hold this up. Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's a 45-minute, mind-awakening, thought-provoking, fast-paced, financial thump in the head. Again, we're waking up those employees to what they've been doing with money. What are the results that they can achieve if they do some things differently, and how's that going to impact their life? That's the first part. When we go in and do that with a company, out of 10 people, 10 employees, 7 of them will sign up to take the 30-day challenge.
Nice.
From there, 5 of them want one-on-one reviews. They want us to look at their situations independently. They've got questions, they have uncertainty, and they need help. So we're literally helping half of the employees right then and there within the next couple weeks with their one-on-one scenarios. And then that puts a whole slew of people to work helping those employees. But we also take a survey. How do you feel you're doing financially? How much are you contributing to your 401k? How much debt do you currently carry? Do you feel that you're earning enough money to reach your retirement goals? We take those and anonymously aggregate them, and then we can tell the employer, did you realize that out of all of your employees, the average credit card debt is $10,000? That the average contribution to their 401k is only 22% of your employees. We can tell them that the average credit score among your employees is a 640, which is 2 points above the national average. Then we install our training program when we go through that for the 30 days, come back, survey them again, maybe come back and do more training throughout the year. Come back next year, survey them again and say, hey, did you realize we reduced debt of your employees down to 7,000? We've increased credit scores to 720 or 650 or something. And 401k contributions are up, your employees' wellness is overall better. That's our goal. We want to measure ourselves, measure our success, hold ourselves accountable when we challenge those employees, and overall increase through measurable metrics, increase the wellness of that company and help them. We're not just there to go in and make a sale, for example.
So the happiest person alive has to be your wife, right?
Yes.
That when you came to this realization,
Yes.
it's like, honey, why didn't you do this before, right?
Yes. Well, again, I wish that was the answer. Ultimately, my financial turmoil
Things fly.
wreaked havoc on my 8-year fiance, who was a fiance, and her family, and it alienated us, and ultimately we separated as a result of it. And I know that that's a problem that is out there for other individuals. I mean, I'm happier now. I have more time to focus on my passion. It's freed up time, but it was incredibly painful. I loved her. I envisioned a life together, but it didn't work out. And that's the way life works. But we can eliminate that for other folks by getting there in time and helping them with their finances. It really is a stressful situation.
Of course it is. But
when you're going to a church and begging for money when you're supposed to be making $7-10 grand a month, or $5 grand a month, or $3 grand, there's a problem there. And the man needs to provide for his family.
I hear you, and I can also hear in your house around that time, honey, you just gotta trust me. I got it.
Yes,
I got it.
exactly.
I see it. You just gotta hang in there, baby.
That's my redemption. When we do go nationwide and we are making it, I can go back and say, "See, I told you."
I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Because the call to action was go get a job. But if I go get a job, I sacrifice all the good that I know
Sure.
I can do. And I was willing to go through the short-term pain. And to her credit, she put up with a long time of that short-term pain. It was more like mid-term pain for her. And you can only expect someone to believe in you for so long until you finally produce the results.
You know what you gotta do, man? You gotta record my phone message, because anybody that leaves me a message is gonna go, hey, Francisco here right now, man. Just leave a message and we'll be all right, man. We're gonna call you right back.
I do have the nickname. They call me the motivator, and I don't know why.
I have no idea. I could, you would have fooled me, man. I mean, we're out of here and we're gonna be all jazzed up and everything else. But what you're doing truly is making an impact, and it's phenomenal, and I appreciate that. And you also work finally with nonprofit foundations and stuff like that.
I'll do
right?
financial training and coaching for any organization for free that has a group that wants to get together. We'll offer it. We'll come in. We'll roll them right through the 30-day challenge.
Man, you're going to have to come back in about 6 months or a year, get us all jazzed up and motivated, and find out what we're going to do from that point on. And you should give some seminars and some education here at the Office Pile.
Absolutely. And I've written about 36 workshops, maybe 40. There's 4 different programs. I call them the cornerstones of life success. The life program is called Masters of Excellence, and it teaches you what are your goals, what are your values, what are your dreams, what are your virtues, what makes you exceptional, what do you want to do with your time on this planet? You only have a finite amount of time. Once you know who you are and where you want to go, then you move into business, and the business philosophy, and the secret there is, what is your formula for success, and what's the value you're bringing to the marketplace? You need to bring value into the marketplace in order to exchange that value for the dollars that you're going to earn. So we teach people how to bring value into the marketplace, how to have the vision and the passion and the drive and the ambition and the skill sets and improve themselves. But that's not it. I learned what I wanted to do in life. I learned how to make the money in life, but what I didn't learn how to do was manage that money I was making. So that's why I created the 4th cornerstone, which is finance. And then the 5th one, or 4th one, is giving back into the community, and that's a whole other project. We can talk about that another time.
Dude, man, we're all motivated and everything else. But Scott, you're my new best friend, man. Thank you so much. And by the way, again, I almost forgot. I'm all jazzed up and everything else. We had another guy that's also motivated. Tom Hoppins was his mentor and everything else. He worked with Tom, and we're all jazzed up with him, and so that I forget to give you a nice gift from the Office Pile. This is from us to you, man.
Fantastic.
For being able to be here and to just give us all the message and everything
so
else.
Awesome.
Hey, man, you're my best friend.
And I have to tell anyone who's watching this video, this place, the Office Pile, is absolutely, seriously one of the most amazing, most incredible co-working facilities I have ever seen. You guys have decorated this place. You've brought this place to life. You have, for the low cost, oh, thank you. No, seriously, for the low cost, I could have taken that about 3 years ago. For the low cost that you charge your entrepreneurs that are in here, so many resources, the business, the office space, the copy machines, the community, the professionals that are here to help. I mean, this is seriously, if you're a business entrepreneur and you need a place to call home, check out the Office Pile right down here in Central Phoenix. This is absolutely amazing, Francisco.
You heard it straight from Scott McLane, the man. We're out.